Today's Sunshine Note is titled, The Only Time to Trust a Demon. Whenever the evil spirits saw him, they fell down before him and cried out, "You are the Son of God." But he gave them strict orders not to tell who he was. Mark 3:11 and 12. I still say it was because Eddie was pregnant that he got twice as much candy as all the rest of us. The costume was his idea, and it worked like a charm. Instead of trick or treat, he'd shout, "Eating for two," and they'd throw in an extra handful. People must have felt sorry for him walking around with that great big belly. Wasn't his beard and mustache a clue that he was a big fat fake? Or maybe the costume idea was super funny and they rewarded him with extra candy. Doesn't it bother you when people pretend to be something they're not? A lot of people hated Jesus because they thought he was pretending to be something he was not, God. They just couldn't swallow the idea that this man could be divine, and that's understandable. Even today, some still have a hard time understanding and believing. But there were a certain select few back then that never ever questioned Jesus' true identity. The demons. In the book of Mark, Jesus cast demons out of a whole lot of people, and without fail they instantly recognize him for who he is, the Son of God. They fall down and scream it out. But unlike people who try to toot their own horn or become something they're not, Jesus plays it down, tells them to be quiet about it. When you're the real thing, I guess you don't need a lot of publicity. It's pretty embarrassing to us that even the demons acknowledge Jesus as God, but we humans still struggle with the idea. A lot of people you meet in life will try to tell you that Jesus was just another good man, that the idea of him being God is completely ridiculous. But if you think about it, there's really only three things he could have been: crazy, a liar, or the actual Son of God. He had no signs of a crazy person. In fact, he seemed very sane and had his wits about him, more so than many. And if he was lying about being God, why would he die for it? And why would his disciples be willing to die for something they too knew was a lie? That doesn't make sense either. All the evidence points to the truth. Jesus was God come down to earth. If you've wrestled with this idea, take comfort. You aren't buying into a hoax or serving a faker. Even the demons testified that Jesus was who he said he was, and they had nothing to gain from it. You're investing your life in the right thing. May God bless you today.